Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, man. What did you see out of Trey Lance yesterday that makes you think something? What do you got for me on that?
Well, they had held off on any of the design quarterback stuff. Now, they did a little bit of it. They sprinkled some of it in with Trey Lance yesterday, and that's what got me fired up. Now, one of them's a touchdown. It's a 4-yard run, and I posted that, and I said, uh-oh, watch out. Like, here we go. And people freak out and say, oh, it's backups versus backups. It's a 4-yard run. We've seen this before. What's the big deal? And I'm sitting here going, no. I'm watching, knowing what Trey Lance can do as a runner. And now I'm saying, okay, they're going to kind of unleash this thing in some way, shape, or form, whether that's just when they get down inside the red zone, whether that's on 3rd and shorts. Are they going to sprinkle them in throughout the game? I got a feeling that something's coming there, Rich. He might not be starting, but we're going to see Trey Lance. And we're going to get a chance to see them line up. And as a defense, you're going to see Deebo Samuel in the slot. You're going to see George Kittle lined up next to Trent Williams, who, arguably the best left tackle in the NFL. And you're going to have a big-time speed back next to Trey Lance. And you're going to have to wonder, are they getting ready to pound this thing down my throat? Are they going to go play action? And all of a sudden now George Kittle just ran by me. Are they going to flip it to Deebo Samuel coming across the formation? Or are they going to fake all that crap and Trey Lance is going to take off? Like, there is so much you're going to have to deal with defensively and to game plan against. I mean, I can't wait. I think it's going to be a nightmare to defend when he gets in the game.
Yeah, I mean, when you tweeted out that play, it looked quite exotic to me, certainly for a preseason snap. That looked like, okay, this is what they're hiding or planning and cultivating. So are you saying that maybe Lance gets in to the game once they enter the red zone, 10-yard line? Like, is that what you're thinking, what Shanahan might be thinking here for 2021?
I mean, I think everything's on the table, Is he going to be maybe he's given a drive here and there. Maybe it's you get into, short yardage situations, he comes out there. Maybe it's just down in the red zone. Eventually, it's going to be his job once he further develops in the passing game, and you're going to have to deal with all this stuff on an every down basis. But in the meantime, I think they're going to find ways, just my opinion, watching it, to be able to incorporate him and use a pretty unique skill set that he has with the creativity that you have with Kyle Shanahan. So it'll be fascinating. I know one thing: you got to prepare for it, no matter how much of it they're going to do. You got to spend a good chunk of time preparing for all that stuff.
Yeah, and the Detroit Lions, I believe, are first up for them, as Jared Goff can't quit the NFC West in his first game with the Lions. So you're saying that Lance's passing game maturity is what potentially is going to put Garoppolo out there to start that game for the 49ers? That's the decision that's coming, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way it looks to me, is that, seeing them practice out in person and then watching through the preseason, Trey's got some stuff to clean up as a passer. He's going to have some misses. Everything is hot coming out of his hand, man. It has got some big-time juice. So learn to touch some things up a little bit. I think Jimmy's he's more accurate at this point in time. So I think that's going to close. I think that gap is going to close, and then you're going to get all the big playability, not just as a runner, but just with pure arm strength, being able to stretch the field vertically that Trey's going to bring. So, I still, if you're asking me to project, I still think we see him as the starter at some point in time this season. And maybe they'll announce it's week 1, but my expectation would be it's probably Jimmy, and you're going to sprinkle Trey Lance. And then I think at some point in time during the season, he'll have evolved and grown enough to get Kyle's trust and in the regular offense that they run, that you get your cake and eat it too.
Daniel Jeremiah here on the Rich Eisen Show, at Move the Sticks on Twitter. He and Bucky Brooks have a podcast by the same name you should all check out right here on the Rich Eisen Show. What do you think is going through Belichick's mind? What's the evaluation there between Cam and Mac and vice versa?
Yeah, I just went and watched all the Mac stuff this morning. Kind of just wanted to go back through and refresh it and just watch all his cut-ups. Man, when he is on time, when he sees it, his back foot's down and the ball's out, I mean, Rich, he's making good decisions. The ball is with excellent ball placement, not just accuracy, ball placement, right upfield shoulder. Guys can run after the catch. He's throwing guys away from defenders. Some really, really good stuff. Now, there were some plays in that game yesterday when there wasn't anywhere to go with the football, and it kind of closed in on him, and that was you saw kind of the downside with Mac, right? You're not going to get that creativity. You're not going to get the escapability to be able to make plays. But, we could have had the same knock on the previous guy that was there for 20 years. Yes. And they have a pretty good idea of how to work around that. So it seems like a perfect marriage. I know Cam, having started all the preseason games, I guess that would point towards him. But, golly, if you're asking me kind of what I think would be best for them, I think he'd be fine. I think I would throw Mac Jones out there week 1, and there's going to be some growing pains along the way. But it didn't, it's a preseason, but it didn't look big. It did not look big for him.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way too. Certainly, and I know that this would definitely get an eye roll out of the coach, I would assume. But week 4, Brady's coming in. Wouldn't you want Mac Jones to get up to speed, right? Unless you think Cam can really take you to the playoffs this year, and then you just give Mac a sabbatical year and just go for it as long as you can with Cam. Like maybe that, what about that as a possibility? Certainly as they're flipping Sony Michel off to the Rams because their running back crew seems to be so damn deep. Yeah. What do you think about that?
No, I mean, I think they'll be fine with Cam. They're going to, if that's the case, they're going to run it really well. They're going to play great defense and special teams, and they can win a lot of football games. I just think right now, I think Mac is in a better place in the passing game. And I think this is kind of the floor for him. He's only going to get better. So if it's close, and I think everybody, even if you were going to say they should start Cam, I think everybody would have to agree it's pretty close. So if it's close and one guy is kind of, at the floor of what he's going to be, I would just be more inclined to say, you know what, Mac Jones is good enough right now and he's going to get better. So that's, but again, Coach Belichick is way more in the details with everything going on and what their plan is for the season. And we won't know that until he announces it. That's for sure.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.